7-on-7.
It's a part of the game now.
7-on-7 football is another Wild Wild West tribute.
Not a huge 7-on-7 person, man. My kids know it.
Some of it can be good. I think from a competitive aspect, I think some of it can be bad when we make it out to be sort of this massive thing. I see 7-on-7 as a piece of the puzzle.
I've always been I'm kind of old school. I like to see guys do multiple sports.
I'm really avid about playing second sports. Doing the 7-on-7 thing, it kind of takes away from second sports. I believe in developmental sports, and I don't think 100% in the springtime. Spring is big. It's a developmental period.
South Florida has always been athletes, and you come down and just get your talent.
7-on-7, I like 7-on-7.
I don't have a problem with guys playing. It's important.
5 years ago, I would have said I hate it. Now, I like it because it does give you a chance to mesh with your team. Now, if you're talking about these all-star 7-on-7s where they just go on vacation and trip and they just want to post social media videos, to me, I think 7-on-7 should be with your team.
Everybody got a 7-on-7 team. Every coach got a 7-on-7 team. Then you got your school 7-on-7.
It creates it embellishes things. Something else that started out good has kind of turned into a situation where that leads to a lot of that recruiting, because now you got coaches and kids crossing paths, this staff maybe, and then all of a sudden you see in the fall that kid's transferred to that school. You know, because the 7-on-7 coach coached it. Just kind of giving kids that outlet to be able to kind of play football throughout the year.
I get the 7-on-7 circuit, you know, and the popularity of it now.
I would prefer that 7-on-7 that you did it for your high school, because I think there would be a lot of benefit in it for everybody involved.
Like I said, I like it if our kids are playing together.
And if you can do it with your team, then your team gets better.
I'd rather have, like I said, our guys play together than play on a, I don't want to even call them all-star team, or team where there's guys from 6 different schools.
I think that puzzle also includes, tackling fundamentals, blocking fundamentals, teaching all those things that matter on Friday nights.
It takes out the linemen and it takes out the grit and the grind of fundamentals and techniques and everything.
Not only they're making themselves better, but they're making our team better.
Is very much needed.
But the kids love it, and you can't stop it.
And, people get upset, but 7-on-7 is not real football. But at the end of the day, 7-on-7 is 7-on-7, and football is 11-on-11.
When you look at the landscape of sports and football in particular, the guys that are going in your higher rounds and getting paid the big bucks, they are second sport guys. In the spring, in the off season, I don't want us spending time playing with this 5-star athlete from another school.
But unfortunately, the best players, they'll fly you all over the nation. Again, I think that takes away from what football is created.
I get it. A lot of the guys like traveling. They like going to those tournaments.
Unfortunately, you got guys flying kids across the country just to play 7-on games.
When you make 7-on-7 just kind of a total of your program identity, I think it could become a bad thing. I think it creates bad habits in players.
Quarterbacks don't just sit back patting the ball 5 seconds, which they do in 7-on-7.
We can do 7-on-7 at school all day, but when you're throwing against people you can make the throw against, it's different. Now hey, I got an elite arm or I got an average arm.
I also think one of the reasons that a lot of these quarterbacks have come in and been able to contribute so early is because of the 7-on-7 and the reps that they're getting.
Football is a physical, violent game, man. It takes out that aspect of it. Things speed up when it's, 4 or 5 guys coming at you trying to tear your head off.
I think it's the way that a coach uses it. We use it as a competitive aspect. We go out there and we run our offense and our defense, right? We're not putting anything special in for 7-on-7. We're trying to get better at what we do.
I like it because of the competition. I like it because we get to work on our stuff.
7-on-7 is a great tool. We do it in practice every day. It's a great tool to learn your pass drops.
7-on-7 is a good way to develop your skills, sharpen up your tools.
Overall, I think it's good for the skill guys.
Very much a fan of it, as long as it's, again, productive. It's going to help the kids out.
I'm probably a little bit more anti-7-on-7 just because, we run our program, we feel the 2 most important things about football are blocking and tackling.
I think the big boys get left out a little bit on that.
Especially with the receivers, the DBs, and the quarterbacks. Good way to sharpen your tools.
My objective is in the off season to play developmental sports.
I don't want the season to end and then we're doing 7-on-7 a week later, and now all you've done is football movements, and now you're into the spring, all you've done is football movements, now you're into the summer, all you've done is football movements.
It's a little different.
So my take on 7-on-7, I don't support it solely because I believe we should be playing those developmental spring sports.
Doing your homework, knowing that if you're going to do it, make it make sense. It helps, but it hurts sometimes too, because your linebackers start to want to drop in coverage and stuff like that, and running backs be, hey, coach, I want to go out for a pass.
Some of the things in football that I don't like kind of creep up.
you know, I feel like there's some habits that are created. There's a culture around it.
I don't know, sometimes it kind of contributes to all the things that we talked about before, right?
You know, I like the multi-sport approach to it, but I also know that the 7-on-7 definitely plays a role.
You know, it's not my favorite.